Broadcasting from the Cannon Motor Studio on Central Avenue in downtown Laurel, Mississippi. This is Good Morning Pine Belt with host Ben Winpigler on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We are back live here from the Cannon Motor Studio. It's a cold morning here in historic downtown Laurel, but a beautiful morning nonetheless. As I say all the time, I would say the winter weather has set in, but I think the high tomorrow is like 75. So, welcome to Christmas in South Mississippi. It never gets old. Before we bring in our first guest of the day, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Bank First. For all of your banking needs, go check out Bank First today. New merged family there with Magnolia State Bank, but still all the same people that you know and trust, still all the same great customer service, just a new name and a little bit newer technology that will help you out for all of your banking needs. So go check them out today. Great new locations all across the Pine Belt and now across the entire state of Mississippi. All right, joining us now, as they do, someone from South Central Regional Medical Center does every month, and I always really enjoy these conversations, is a guy that I've known for a long time, grew up with his son, and it's Dr. Robert DeSantis. And Dr. DeSantis, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. DeSantis, I obviously want to start here. You're obviously no stranger to the Pine Belt. You've been here a very long time. How long have you been with South Central now?
Well, I originally came to Laurel in 1998. Of course, I'm from Laurel, and I left for a couple of years and practiced in Hattiesburg. But I've been at South Central for the majority of my career since 1998.
Well, and we'll get into the big part of the segment. But since you've started to now, I can imagine the progress that you've seen at that hospital has just been incredible.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The hospital is incredible. The growth is incredible. The facility, the providers, the number of new providers we have and specialties that we have to offer. It's just been phenomenal over the years.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. DeSantis, you've obviously been an OBGYN for your entire career now. And something that I was not super aware of until really today, a big step really in overall in women's health kind of came out just over the last month or so down from the FDA. And you were kind of telling me off air about some things that had happened. And now I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you because there's a lot of here that I don't know and that I would love to learn, and especially our listeners would love to learn. So kind of tell us about what has happened recently that's really going to change the face of women's health.
Well, it's exciting news for women's health care. On November the 10th of this year, the FDA came out with a statement that they were removing a black box warning on hormone replacement therapy medications. And the significance of this is that the black box warning was placed on the medication back in 2003.
Wow.
So we've been 23 years with this black box warning. The black box warning, just to kind of give you an update on or a summary of how we got there, a study came out in 2002 that showed that hormones were really bad, that they caused heart disease, they caused cancer, they caused dementia. They caused all kind of abnormal problems. And this was a very flawed study, but it was released, and the FDA put a black box warning on medication a year later.
Okay.
What is a black box warning?
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds really scary.
I mean, the thing about a black box warning, it is the most severe safety-related warning that the FDA can put on a medication, basically saying that there are serious or life-threatening risk or side effects from that medication.
Yeah. So it's as scary as it sounds.
So when a provider or a patient sees this on the black box warning, I mean, who's going to take that medication?
Exactly.
It's telling you you're going to die or have a heart attack or get cancer from it.
Right.
So after 23 years of research to reverse or to show that the findings of the Women's Health Initiative study were flawed, the FDA came out with a strong statement and removed this black box warning last month.
Wow. So a couple of questions. You kind of answered my question there about the black box warning, but I know that we were when we were talking off air and before the segment and everything, like you said, this has been now kind of in place for 20 years. So that means for the past 20 years, it has been taught in medical schools. It has been, doctors have gone by this black box warning. This is something that's not just going to take a turn overnight. This is going to take time to kind of cycle back through medical classes and into the medical community to become the norm. Is that how long? I mean, obviously you don't know exactly, but how long do you think something like that takes?
Well, that's very interesting that you pick up on that, because basically we've mistreated or not offered treatment for a whole generation of people.
Wow. Yeah.
So there was a study done a couple years ago, and they looked at medical schools all over the country to see how many residents, these are your residents training in obstetrics and gynecology, go out and become an OBGYN.
Yeah.
How many programs were actually training their residents in menopausal health? Mm-hmm. And we found out that 20% of programs actually had a curriculum for menopause. Wow. Just several months ago, I was talking to a student that was rotating with me from a medical school, and she basically told me that the lecture they received on menopause told them how bad hormones were. Yeah. And basically went over all the information that we talked about. And she went home that evening and told her mom that she needed to get off her hormones. Yeah. And basically her mom had been on hormones for 10 years. Yeah. But because of one lecture in medical school, she went home and convinced her mom to stop her hormones. Yeah. Of course, now her mom's back on hormones. Yeah. But that just gives you an idea. So we're down to 20% of programs even teaching menopause. But I really do think with the change with the FDA lifting the black box warning, that's going to change. But we've been 23 years. Yeah. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's an entire generation of people. So kind of back to the actual hormone replacement therapy and all this, what exactly is that? What does that do for women's health? What all does that mean?
So basically we're talking about treating women who have gone through menopause or going through menopause. And this means basically that they're at a stage in life where their ovaries are no longer working. Okay. So they're no longer making their natural hormones. Right. And we'll just stay simple: estradiol, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Yeah. When women start decreasing in these, they start having a change in their health. Yeah. They can also go through surgical menopause, which means they have surgery that removes their ovaries, so they're immediately menopausal, and they don't go through it in a slower pattern. Right. But once you lose these hormones, basically it starts having effects on your health. Okay. And mainly bone loss, cognitive, memory, short-term memory, multitasking, eventually leading to problems like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Yeah. But also we see reductions in heart disease. We see 50% reduction in heart attacks in women who take hormone replacement. Okay. As well. But we have 6,000 women a day that go through menopause. Yeah. I mean, basically that's 2 million women every year in the United States that are entering the stage of menopause. And with our life expectancy now around 81, that means women are going to spend about a third of their life menopausal. Wow. That's a really big deal. So if somebody's listening and they're like, hey, I've heard for my entire life or that this was bad, and now that I hear it's good, I'm actually really interested in it. Who is maybe a good candidate for these type of things? So the best candidate is a patient who is newly menopausal, going through menopause. If a female starts menopausal hormone therapy during the first 10 years after they become menopausal, or by the age 60, they're going to get maximum benefits. Okay. So that's where we've lost 53 million women over the past 23 years. That's a big number. Because now we've had 53 million women age through that first 10 years of menopause. And while there's still benefits for them, there's also some risks that have to be discussed with them that we do know. So we got an ideal group of patients, 10 years menopausal or by age 60.
I gotcha.
That's going to be your ideal group.
Okay. And also, too, I know we were talking off air, and you said it, too. You have kind of, even after this, you have still been a proponent for these hormone replacement therapies, and you're actually working to train the next generation, right? You said you've got a lecture series coming up. Is that right?
Well, I've been lecturing medical students through our program at South Central. I'm also on staff at University Medical Center in Jackson, and I get to do some lectures there with the residents. So this year we're doing a lecture series on menopause and hormone replacement therapy. Yeah. So we're trying to get that program back on board with some menopause therapy. I also teach at some of the menopausal courses out in Salt Lake City. Okay, there you go. Well, Dr. Robert DeSantis is our guest now. Well, Dr. DeSantis, we have run out of time, but real quick, I'm looking at a wonderful article that our good friend here, Anna Gail Alexander, wrote in conjunction with Dr. DeSantis.
here. Where can they find that? And then also, too, I know you've got one on your Facebook that gets a lot more in depth in these questions.
Well, that was a great article that was in the Laurel Leader Call last week. Annagale did a great job with that article. I also do a lot of educational information on my business Facebook page, Robert A. DeSantis, MD.
Okay.
So I'm always putting information out there. So any articles or anything that I'm writing on hormones or medical will be on that page.
There you go. And real quick, if somebody hears this and they're interested and they want to see if they're the right candidate, how do they get an appointment with you or somebody in your office?
Yeah, they can get an appointment with me, or they can get an appointment with one of my partners, and we have nurse practitioners in the office, so they can call the office at 601-649-5421 or 601-477-2226 in the Ellisville office.
There you go. Dr. Robert DeSantis, a longtime OBGYN here in the Pine Belt, and great information. Go find that on South Central's website. You just search his name or look up his name there on Facebook, and you'll find those great articles. Get you more in-depth information. Dr. DeSantis, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, when we come back, we've got more for you today, including a national championship from right here in the Pine Belt. Stick around. Good morning, Pine Belt. We'll be right back from the Cannon Motor Studio.
This is Good Morning Pine Belt on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We are back live here in the Cannon Motor Studio. Beautiful, historic, chilly downtown Laurel. Our thanks to Dr. Robert DeSantis there, longtime OBGYN, and really a great advocate for overall women's health here, not just in the Pine Belt, but really across the country, but especially here in the Pine Belt. Fantastic resource that we have here at South Central. Before we bring in our next guest, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Dixie Electric Power Association, a member-owned electric co-op that offers broadband internet. Go check out DE Fastlink today. Lots of people streaming right now as we get into the holidays, watching those Christmas movies. If you want something that's not going to buffer and go out, get DE Fastlink. I promise you it won't. All right, joining us now, as she does every month from Wally Properties and Wally Forestry, is the one and only Miss Rebecca Patrick. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. It's been so long since I've seen you.
I know. It's been a full less than 24 hours.
I know. He actually crossed the border and came down to Ellisville for a few minutes.
It's
you do come to Ellisville a lot, but you don't get to come to the office much.
No, I don't. I see your car there, but I know that y'all are always busy.
We are always busy. Hopefully, we stay busy. That's
the
whole plan. Yeah.
Hopefully you do. I know I talked to Mr. Jim yesterday, and I was like, well, when it gets cold, do y'all get less? But he's like, no, absolutely not. We don't get less busy. He's like, we just kind of stay busy all the time. So
absolutely, and that's the way we like it.
That's a
the
good
way
thing.
We like it.
Well, Miss Rebecca, I know typically when we come on here, we talk about the fantastic properties y'all have, and y'all have some wonderful properties, something for everybody. But today we're going to change it up a little bit and kind of talk about what y'all do for people, because I know we always kind of have to plow it in there at the end. So we're going to spend the whole time doing it today.
Exactly. Well, and I haven't done the research to actually get the precise data on all this, but my guess is that most people don't sell or buy land or house or whatever more than once or twice in a lifetime. Now, I know there's people that do it all the time, but
it's not a lot. It's not the average person.
So, I bought my house. It's been 25 or 30 years. So, of course, a year ago, I wanted to buy some land. Yeah. I didn't remember what I did 25 years ago either.
Exactly.
So fortunately, I had a lot of help because I knew what I wanted to buy and everything. Well,
it's a lot. As somebody who's going through the process of now selling a home, and we have only been there 6 years, but even still, I mean, there's so much jargon and this and that. I told our realtor, I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying right now. Just I trust you.
And one of the things that I hear or have heard over the years is you see this for sale by owner. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of those people understand what's involved in actually selling, and on the other end buying land, but selling especially. So, there may be folks out there who've, maybe you've lived on some property for a long time. You're ready to downsize or ready for something else, or maybe you've inherited some land, but maybe you're older. Maybe you're not going to hang out on it that much. Maybe your kids don't live here anymore. Yeah. and you don't know what you want to do with it. Well, we can actually kind of come out and talk to you, and we're not going to sit there and say, hey, we want to sell your land. Obviously we would love to help you do that.
Right.
I mean,
but that may not be the answer.
But that may not be the answer, exactly. So if you're thinking about selling it, or maybe you need to learn how to manage what you've got.
Exactly.
So, but for example, if you're somebody out there who's thinking, I've got some land over here, it's just kind of sitting there, I'm paying taxes on it every year, but I'm not really utilizing it. Maybe it'd be better if I just, found somebody that could use it.
Right.
Maybe I could put the money in the bank for my future, or to go travel.
Exactly.
Oh, wouldn't it be great? So, for example, one of the things we are is a one-stop shop when it comes to timber and land.
Yes.
And another thing that people don't always understand is that your timber has value.
Lots of value.
Separately from the land. So we will come out, we will perform a timber cruise, look at establishing a fair market value for the property, and offer recommendations on ways to showcase the property.
Yeah.
You may have had this piece of property for a long time, and it may just be the way nature's handled it.
Right.
Sometimes we may suggest, hey, let's get a forestry mulcher.
Yeah, clean it up a little bit.
Let's come in here, clean it up a little bit, make it look pretty.
Exactly, for the pictures.
And speaking of the pictures, we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, we will.
But, we'll just suggest things that will enhance the marketability of your property.
Right.
To help you sell it.
And that stuff makes a big difference.
Right. And so once we do all those types of things, then we'll come in. If you choose, say, hey, I've got I want to sell. I want to do this. So you've got a team that's going to come and help you with that. Like I said, we've got our registered foresters. In fact, 4 of our real estate agents are also registered foresters.
Oh.
In addition to being a real estate agent.
Okay.
So, that gives us a leg up on especially rural property. We can offer expert advice on potential buyers or sellers on the management of their land for wildlife, timber, and recreational purposes. So, these guys are pretty smart, pretty knowledgeable,
they know what they're talking about.
They can help you out. And so, after we've established that, hey, I want to sell, we've helped you with appraisal of your timber, appraisal of your land. Then comes the marketing part, and that's where our full-time drone pilot.
And she is good.
She is good. Angel is amazingly good, and she'll go out there and fly the property. And sometimes I get to go and take a few pictures too. But she is the woman when it comes to putting these things together. And what she does, she goes out there, she does the drone pilot thing. She gets out there and takes a big overhead shots. The big picture gets down close to the ground as well, and then she puts it all together in usually anywhere from 1.5 to 3 minutes, depending on the size and scope of the property. She'll put together a video. Sometimes it's with we'll have a voiceover, and she writes the scripts for most of those, and we use those for marketing on our website as well as some other websites. And so we put all that together. We write up a description of your property. And, many years ago, all we really had around here was to market, say, statewide.
Yeah.
Because of course, we're marketing to our local audience.
Right.
But sometimes you just got to get out there because people are looking for land. About the only thing available was the Jackson Clearing Ledger newspaper back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And, you put it in there and hope that somebody was going to see it.
Exactly.
Well, now, we've got the internet.
Oh, yeah. It's everywhere.
And once we package everything, once we put together the marketing of your property, we'll give it a name. We'll talk about it, have the video, have the pictures. And we have websites nationally that we use. Lands of America, Land Watch, Land and Farm.
Yeah.
These are national marketing sites.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people may be looking from out of state. I mean, especially nowadays.
Well, just this past month, we sold a cattle farm to an out-of-state company from New York.
Oh, wow. Wow.
They found our listing on one of the national sites and said, this is perfect for what we're looking for in Mississippi.
There you go.
And it came from one of our the national sites. They saw it. We get inquiries daily from these marketing sites.
Yeah.
So, that gets us out of the area, but also we want to get it to people around here too, because the reality is that this is where our bread's buttered.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so the first thing is, of course, we value SuperTalk Radio.
Well, we appreciate y'all.
You guys get out to about a 50 to 100 mile radius from here, correct?
It's
pretty close.
It's about 16 to 17 counties around us. Yeah.
Right. So you've got a nice little area there that you reach, and people don't realize just how much of a loyal audience you have. You got people listen; they're going to tune in every day,
all day.
SuperTalk. Mm-hmm. And that statistics have shown that people who like talk radio, they tend to listen to it all day.
Yeah, they do.
So see, there's your plug right there.
I appreciate it. And they're grown-ups, too. They're grown-ups.
And
they're
grown-ups.
These properties.
Exactly. And so, and then we currently are running with our local television station.
Yeah.
We're running commercials now. We have branched out into that a little bit.
Yeah.
We had not done that for a while, and now we're trying to get a broader marketing strategy locally.
Yeah.
We have 2 billboards on Highway 49, 1 on Highway 98, and 2 on Interstate 59 are about to be up pretty soon. And people don't discount billboards too, because I'll tell you, after I went to work at Wally, I found out just how powerful the billboard at the intersection of I think it's Highway 29 and 98 down at New Augusta.
Yep.
Is because everybody's going to the beach in the summertime.
They are.
And I kid you not, I have gotten more phone calls from that particular, because they actually mention it. They'll say, "Man, I was on my way to the beach," and I know exactly where they were when they saw the sign. And so, and then I'm there. I answer the phone.
Yeah.
But I also help with the writing
Right.
and the and everything, because my background's journalism.
Right.
Have a few years
Yeah,
logged in teaching journalism and doing that. So we have great agents, and like I said, 4 of them real estate and registered foresters. So if you're thinking about selling your land or thinking about, I just need some advice, they can give us a call at 601-477-3014, and they can check our website out at wallyproperties.com.
There you go. Well, Miss Rebecca, y'all really do have probably the most resources of any real estate, properties, forestry, of anybody I've ever seen. So it always amazes me every time we talk. So,
well, I thought that little brick building was a very quiet building from the outside before I went to work there. And then I found out, wow, there's a lot going on.
There is indeed. Well, we appreciate everything y'all are doing. And so if you need property, go check them out over there at wallyproperties.com or wallyforestry.com. Thank you, Miss Rebecca.
Thank you, Ben, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking with some national champions. Stick around right here on Good Morning Pine Belt from the Cannon Motor Studio.
Good Morning Pine Belt, SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We are back from the Cannon Motor Studio in historic downtown Laurel, Mississippi. Thank you for tuning in wherever you may be listening. Hey, don't forget, if you ever miss a day's show or miss a segment you want to go back and listen to, you can find it right on our SuperTalk Laurel YouTube page. Don't worry, you don't have to see me. You can just listen to it. And it's always there. You can go back and listen to any segment that you may have missed. Our thanks to Miss Rebecca Patrick there from Wally Properties and Wally Forestry. Go check them out for all of your property and forestry needs. And before I bring in our next guest, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by McLaurin Carpets out in Soso. From carpet to custom tile shower and every type of flooring in between, you can go see McLaurin Carpets today for quality that will long be remembered after pricing gets forgotten. They are right there off of Highway 28 in the big city of Soso, or at McLaurinCarpets.com. Go see my buddy Junior and Miss Ruth over there. They'll get you taken care of. All right, joining us now from South Jones High School, just down the road here in the big city of Ellisville, is the Grand National Champions. Got to make sure I add that in. National Championship for Class A band. We have Mr. Brian Joyce. He is the band director there at South Jones, and Miss Aubrey McNeil and Abe Wansley. And thank you all so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, I'm going to start with you. First of all, congratulations. I mean, my goodness, I was in the band all through high school. I know all about these competitions. That is a big deal.
Thank you.
That is a big deal. So first of all, I just want you to kind of talk about y'all's journey there, because a lot of people aren't really familiar with. They're familiar with football and how you get through the playoffs and everything, but band's a little bit different. How did y'all get to the national championship contention, and how did it go when you got there?
Well, anybody can register for the event that occurs in Indianapolis. It's also one of those events that if you should go or if you shouldn't go.
Yeah.
And because it's a fairly expensive adventure with 4 buses and several nights in hotels.
Yes.
And just to enter. But once you get there, you've got to go through several rounds to get to the end of it. And so they have Thursday, Friday, they have 2 rounds of prelims. They do 55 bands on each day.
Okay.
And then the 2 panels of judges kind of sift through that and try to figure out who they want to see again on Saturday for semifinals. And so it's all, nobody knows who's in what class. It's everybody versus everybody.
Okay.
And then you get to Saturday, and when you make semifinals, then it's a class competition to see who wins their class as well as who advances to finals, and it's again everybody versus everybody while still functioning with the class championships as well. And so at the end of Saturday, mid-afternoon is when we found out that we won our class, and we were invited to perform in finals as well.
That's awesome. Well, so I guess I didn't realize. I knew I didn't realize that they didn't break it up by like size. So you could be facing off against a much larger band than yours.
Well, sure. Well, we in Mississippi, our band is a pretty good sized band.
Yeah.
But when you go into the national scene, it's about half the size of what most of those groups are.
Yeah.
And we were sandwiched between 2 perennial juggernaut and gigantic bands, Blue Springs from Missouri and Flower Mound from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And both of those were their class champions as well, but much larger classes than ours.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm going to bring in Aubrey first. So, Aubrey, if you want to pull that mic over there to you. So, you're a senior now. You're a dancer.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in the band?
I've been in the band for 4 years now.
All right, so at one point when y'all were kind of going through this, did y'all know that y'all were going to compete for this?
We decided to my junior year right before, and he always told us, like, if we wanted to, we would, but we all had to agree together.
Yeah.
So my junior year was our first year going, and then last year we all wanted to go back so bad because we didn't really feel like we performed the best we could have our first year. So we wanted to go back and try again. Yeah. So after that first time, you kind of got a feel for it and everything. So when you're there in Indianapolis, and I'm assuming y'all were in Lucas Oil Stadium, that's because I know that's where they do the DCI competitions and everything. When you're in there and you're in front of such a big place, what is that like? Because I mean that's a whole different world from Ellisville. It was crazy, honestly. Like when we walked in, we just like stood there and we just were staring at everything. Like it was so big and there were so many people, more than anybody had ever seen, honestly. But once we started our show, we kind of like got comfortable with it, and it honestly felt like nobody was watching because everybody was so far away.
Yeah. I know. I remember back when I was playing, you kind of get zoned in there for that performance and everything. You kind of forget that everybody's there except for the drum major. So when you're in there and y'all are getting announced, what was it like when you were like, oh my gosh, we actually won?
We were all so shocked. I mean, like, still to this day, I was telling somebody a few days ago about it, and I just, like, there's no words for it because we just did not think that we were going to win our second year going. Yeah.
All right, so you're a senior now. You're getting ready to graduate. What would you tell somebody, a student maybe who's just starting out band or considering band? Because I love it. I met some of my lifelong friends. I mean, it was a great 4 year. I sometimes wish I would have done it longer, but what would you tell somebody who's maybe thinking about joining?
I honestly, band has done so much for me. I've gone to Canada, Australia. We're going to Ireland this year. Like, it just opened up so many different opportunities that I wouldn't have had without it. So, honestly, just go for it.
Yeah. All right, well, pass the mic over to your buddy Abe there. All right, so I'm talking with Abe Wansley now, and Abe, you're a junior.
Yes,
you play the trombone. I was close. I was going to peg you as a tuba guy, but you're a trombone. So I'm kind of ask you the same question. You go in there and you're in front of this huge stadium. You're not in Ellisville anymore. What's it like, man?
I mean, it's one of the biggest venues that I've ever gotten to play in before. It's weird to play in there because it's so big and hollow. It's just like you can't even hear yourself play when you're in there.
Yeah.
but it's really just, it was one of my favorite experiences is being in there, because you're playing for a crowd of people, and then we got a standing ovation at the end of it.
Yeah. So when Mr. Joyce told y'all that, hey, we're going back again next year and we're going to win, I'm assuming y'all had a lot of long nights of practicing and really studying, because I think a lot of people forget that the band has to practice sometime, and you don't just get out there and make it happen. And you practice pretty hard. How long were y'all? I'm sure there was a lot of extra practices, huh?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we practiced every Tuesday and Thursday until about 5:30.
Yeah.
And we started in July.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Aubrey there. You're a junior now. You still got one more year in the band. If somebody's coming in and they're considering band, or I don't know, or their first year and they may not like the instrument they're playing all that well, what would you recommend to them?
I think you should keep going. I mean, the first few years are the hardest. I mean, it's a big thing to play an instrument. It's a lot different than using your voice or singing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Push through. I think it's worth it. It's very, it's a huge achievement to be able to go to like events like that, and I love it. It's my favorite thing I do at school.
So do you, trombone the only thing you play?
I also play euphonium.
Okay, there you go. You planning on doing that for years to come, trying to do that in college and everything?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Oh, pass it back to Aubrey. I forgot to ask her one question there. Aubrey, obviously you're getting ready to graduate. What are your plans? Obviously, as a senior coming up, you're starting to make your college plans and everything. First of all, do you play anything? Are you just a dancer?
Oh, I do not play an instrument.
There you go. Are you planning on doing that in college, dancing, or?
I'm planning on going to Mississippi Gulf Coast and auditioning for the Perkettes.
Okay.
In hopes of making that. I'm not 100% sure what I want to major in yet or anything like that, but definitely dancing.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Mr. Joyce, I can imagine if the rest of your band is anything like these two, that's kind of probably when you knew, hey, we're ready for this. When you saw that your kids, you're like, hey, I've got such a good group. When did you really know, hey, we're ready for this level?
I think it kind of goes back to just the kind of kid that we have in general. Like we're fortunate to have a great group of kids that have great families and push the kids to be excellent in what they do.
Yeah.
And we've been kind of going in this direction for a while now. Our first Bands of America performance was in 2021 when we did a regional, and we just kind of go a little bit at a time to see if you're ready for the next thing. And over time, it's just kind of transitioned into this, and they've gotten more dedicated, and they've asked for more opportunities. And so, we've always been, as far as the staff's concerned, we've always done if they want to go after it, we'll go after it. But everybody has to know the dedication that's required to go to that level. And everybody's bought in. The parents, the community, and the school has been supportive of it. And so it's a pretty cool thing to know that that's what they want to do, and they want to keep going after it. So as far as when we first found out, I don't know. It's kind of just been a long-standing thing with them. They've always wanted to go after it. Yeah,
well, that's the kind you want, kids that want to compete. I know that South Jones, even when I was in high school, always had a tradition there of just being excellent with, and his last name is blanking on me, Artie.
Artie Adams?
Yes, Artie Adams, absolutely. Fantastic. And then y'all have had some great directors there over the past several years. What's it like, kind of inheriting a program from Artie Adams, who's kind of a legend in the local band world?
Yeah, and we talk about it. We were talking about it in the waiting area. We always tell Mr. Adams that we're living in the house that Mr. Adams built.
Yeah, is he still around?
He's around. He comes to rehearsals on a pretty regular basis, and he's a great mentor. He's very supportive, and if we do anything new or fun, exciting, kind of like this, we always make sure that Artie's along with us.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to inherit this and to be trusted with this, because it's such a long-term and emotional thing. I've been there for a decade now, and he was there for a little over 2 decades.
Yeah.
And you put so much of your life and effort into it, you want to make sure that it transitions into the next hands that are supposed to have it. And so Mr. Benson, who's been there a little longer than I have, and it's just a special part of our lives, and it's cool to see that Mr. Adams trusted us to do that, and he still comes around and supports us, and also tells us you may want to do that a little different next time. So it's good to have that constant mentorship.
Absolutely. Well, real quick before we finish, I asked those two, but I didn't ask you. If a kid or a parent is listening, and they're considering putting their kid in the band, what would you tell them as a director?
For me, it's we like to tell everybody who's getting ready to do this that you don't have to go off to school to be a music major. You don't have to turn this into your life. It's a great experience, and it's a great opportunity to see new things and try new stuff. But it also teaches kids self-discipline. Teaches them respect. It teaches them how to work hard together, and they're part of something bigger than themselves. And there's some things that go along with that it's hard to pick up in other places. I played sports a lot when I was younger, and I was also in the band, and it was kind of my thing to stick with music. But all that to say, I think that as you're getting ready to look at the things you have an opportunity to do, whatever it is you do, jump in it and give everything your all. Yeah,
well, y'all have certainly done that. Grand National Champions of Class A there. Again, congratulations. It's an incredible honor to win that, and I'm sure y'all can go back and compete for more.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right, when we come back to finish up the show, we are going to be talking about the Magnolia Pro Rodeo here in Laurel, so stick around. Good morning, Pine Belt. We'll be right back from the Cannon Motor Studio.
You're tuned in to Good Morning Pine Belt on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning Pine Belt. We are back live here in the Cannon Motor Studio in historic downtown Laurel, Mississippi. Our thanks to the South Jones High School Braves. Incredible honor there, winning the national championship there out of Indianapolis. Incredible honor. Before we bring in our final guest of the day, I do want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Community Bank. Local bankers, local decisions, and plenty of convenient locations, including one just down the block here on Central Avenue. So go visit Community Bank today for all of your banking needs. All right, joining us now, I've got Miss Tiffany Parrish. She is with the Arc of the Pine Belt, and then Miss Jade Kitaif. She is with the rodeo here that is coming to town. And ladies, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, Miss Jade, I'm going to start with you. First of all, I know this is we've had a couple of different rodeos here, but this is not the first year that y'all have brought the rodeo to town, right?
No, it's not. We've been in the Magnolia Center, I want to say on and off for the past 15 years. Wow. But as far as PRCA rodeos, I want to say is the 9th or 10th year of being in the Magnolia Center and doing a PRCA rodeo. So we're no strangers to the Magnolia Center. We're glad to be back.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's talk about this rodeo real quick. This is not just going to be your friends and your co-workers maybe riding a horse around. This is the real deal. This is professional riders and everything, right?
Absolutely. So we sanctioned this rodeo through the PRCA, which is the Major Leagues of Rodeo. They just had their Super Bowl of rodeo in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this is the first rodeo back, Laurel, Mississippi, of all places.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty cool.
First one back, so we get a lot of guys that are coming off the NFR, a lot of guys that want to get a jump start on the new year. So we do have a broad range of contestants that come, and we are really we're proud to be there.
Absolutely. Well, I know that this is going to be something for all ages, correct? This isn't just for somebody who's never been to a rodeo. This will be a cool time to come in and really experience one for the first time.
Of course, we really pride ourselves on being a family event, but an event for all ages. So there's a little something for everybody. It appeals to a broad range, male, female, 5 to 65.
Yeah. All right, so I know every time y'all come to a community, especially the Laurel, y'all really try to team up in the community. You're not just there to put on a rodeo. You're really there to benefit the community more. And y'all are doing that now with a local charity here. So kind of tell us what y'all are doing there with one of our local charities here in Laurel.
Yeah, so pretty much our mission with the rodeo company the past couple of years is when we go to a place, we try to make an impact in the community that serves us. We have so many great sponsors, especially in Laurel, Regional Homes, Boot Barn Hattiesburg, Southern Beverage, Coca-Cola, South Central Regional Medical Center, I can't forget Jones County Board of Supervisors and Laurel Ford Lincoln Kia. Those places help support us. So we try to make it our mission to help the communities. And we've teamed up in Laurel with the Arc of the Pine Belt region to donate a portion of our proceeds to help them and do whatever they need to do. They help a lot of people with disabilities, and it's kind of near to my heart. So we chose that for this area, and Tiffany can tell you a whole lot more about what specifically they do, but just a little bit about what we do.
There you go. Well, good segue there, Miss Tiffany.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. Arc of the Pine Belt. Obviously, this is a big deal for y'all. For people who don't know what the Arc is, a brief summary of kind of what y'all do and what events like this mean for y'all.
So this is a wonderful event, and we are so thankful for Jade and her partnership with this. So the Arc of the Pine Belt, we've been around our chapter since 1962.
Wow.
And we serve 5 counties in this area surrounding Jones County. And events like this, we help individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But we invite the community and their families, even if you don't have a disability, join us. Be a member. Come to events with us. So the proceeds that we get from the rodeo helps us do things like bowling night. We do zoo day. We do dinners. They love bingo. We get together and can do these events from the sponsorships. And it's not too late.
No.
Jade will tell you it is not too late. You can call me. I'll leave a cell phone. We have sponsorships as low as $100.
Wow.
And Jade has been so gracious with this package, you even get your name called out.
Wow.
Or your business name. So the packages are very reasonable. Start at $100. Like I said, it's not too late. We'd love to have some more.
There you go. And I know that these kind of events and all the things that y'all do, man, they just mean the world to those guys and those people.
Yes. And Jade sections us off a section. So we have, there'll be an arc section.
I bet they love it.
They love it. It's up close. They get to see the riders. And we encourage people that go, please come by, say hello to us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, as I said at the beginning, this is a shorter segment. So, Miss Jade, real quick, tell people if they want to purchase tickets. I know you said it, but how do they buy those tickets again?
So they can either, purchase them at the gate, or we sell tickets online at ticketleap.com. If you search JC Kitaif Pro Rodeos or the Magnolia Center Pro Rodeo, you can easily find the tickets.
There you go. That's January 10th at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's best seating. Get in there early so you get you a good seat. Well, Jade, Miss Tiffany, we appreciate y'all jumping on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Hey, well, that does it for Good Morning Pine Belt for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow, but from the Cannon Motor, hey, it's 10 o'clock. I didn't forget you, Rocky. Go see Rocky over out there at K-Rocks. Middays with Gerard is up next. We will talk to you tomorrow from the Cannon Motors studio. Until then, keep your dial on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.